Hello once again, YouTube. This is Mike Roadway, and today I have two cars, the BRZ and the Mazda Miata behind me, and I'm addressing one huge question that you always see on the forums. Is the Miata's interior actually too small and therefore justifies looking to, hypothetically, a larger interior in the BRZ? Let's get to it. I think with the rear seat debate, the BRZ wins, but surprisingly not by too much. We are in a 2024 ND3 Mazda Miata, and I am now going to assess whether the interior is too small. So here we are. I am in the driver's seat. I stand at 6'1". That is 73 total inches. I apologize to my other than US counterparts. I'll have to put the metric system amount right here. But first impressions, and let me close this door. First impressions is it's not too small by any means. I know earlier I made the little joke about the back seat. I mean, this is not a backseat car. This is a two-door sport, not coupe, true sport car, technically speaking, with the convertible retractable top. So let's go ahead and talk about like shoulder space and head space and things like that. Let's start with a big one, head space. I think I've got, that feels like 1.5 inches, maybe 2. So you might be snug with a helmet if you kept the top open, but I am definitely okay here. So let's talk about shoulders. So the seats, I would say, compared to the BRZ and the GR86, my shoulders are a little bit more snug. You could argue that could feel more sporty, so that's really to your flavor. Seating position, I've got a 32-inch inseam on the legs, and this compartment is like absolutely no problem. There's no problem here with space. Ooh, there's kind of like nice spacing between the brake and the gas. As far as like how I would sit with the shifting area and the steering wheel, very, very good. And something that actually concerned me, like, you know, of course, I think everybody considers the Miata at some point in their life, that I've got relatively broad shoulders. If I'm going to sit in the vehicle and I've got one of my big buddies next to me, are we going to be too tight? And nope, my shoulder doesn't even take half of this area. I've seen some reviewers that are much more substantial men than I, at least physically speaking, and you know, they look like it's kind of make the car look like a clown car, but it is not the case. Like I said, 6'1", 73 inches. I weigh 200 pounds, pretty broad shoulders, and I am comfortable in here. I think we look around, there's not, obviously without a back seat, there's not a whole bunch of options for reclining. So if you like the, not quite like upright, there's recline to it here. But if you enjoy the straight line focused like race car kind of style when you drive, then the seat is perfect. If you're more like, hey, I want to recline it back and take a nap during lunch or whatever, definitely not going to be suitable. I know this video is just talking about space, but I love the analog gauges in this. I really wish the BRZ and 86 did this. Likewise, I really like the smaller screen and that the center stack is super linear, and that's like my favorite thing, the linear dash. So BRZ, it's got a linear, but you know, the big screen, I kind of wish they had something smaller like the ND3 Miata here. Super, super nice. So let's go ahead and have some fun, and let's see what it's like with this top. Look at this. That thing automatically moves. How cool is that? So rad. What was that, less than 10 seconds? Amazing. So now, when we've got the car wide open, I mean, I don't feel claustrophobic in any way. In fact, I'd just say this kind of envelops me the way a sport car should. If we're going to talk about overall conclusions, if you're on the fence about whether this car is too small, go out and drive one and feel it and get a feel for yourself. Because while I love my car, I had to have back seats and I needed a little bit more space in the trunk and things like that. Don't shrug this car off just because people say it's too small. Because if you don't need the back seat and you're good driving a little sport car, I mean, this is nice. And you look around at the materials and everything else, and this blows. I'm sorry guys for the 86 and the BRZ owners watching this. The material qualities are substantially nicer here, a little bit more grown up. So anyway, in conclusion, the Miata interior is not too small. So thank you again for watching, everybody. I appreciate it. If you like what you saw, hit like and subscribe. And as always, drive on.